Hey guys, Elvin Prince here, back with a RWBY fight scene analysis where I go over a fight scene from RWBY with maybe a bit too much realism and pedantic opinions than maybe some people would enjoy. Anyway, this time we are doing the Season 1 finale, the fight between Blake, Sun, and Penny versus Torchwick and assorted Whitefang goons. So, the main weapons in play this time are just going to be, your normal Whitefang guns. Don't know if there's a specific model for those. And along that, we have Melodic Cudgel, which is Torchwick's weapon, and honestly, one of my favorites in the series just because, I feel like they're so. I feel like the gun cane is such a practical, well, not practical, plausible weapon. We have Penny's little backpack of blades, Blake's sword thing, and finally we have Sun's bow staff, which I'm just gonna come out and say it. No, that is not practical in any way, shape, or form. It's cool as hell, and that's about it. I'm not gonna spend much more time commenting on it because I don't think I need to. Anyway, let's get started. This isn't. I don't own RWBY, and so check it out. The Rooster Teeth website will be linked down below. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first, ignoring how slow things are going on my end, firing something of that caliber, just with your arm outstretched, you can see his arm get thrown back from the recoil, but dear God, Torchwick has got to have some gains going on under that coat. It's a slow firing projectile, and apparently has. Okay. This is just a common case of RWBY having the flippy doodads. You know my thoughts on those. It's not the greatest. Gonna drop the quality a bit just so we can move things a bit faster here. But the multiple flare shots, I'm not sure how exactly the loading mechanism works. It could be inside the cane. And poorly animated banana. Comment on that. Torchwick could have moved out of the way. Sun, dear God, your ankles are going to be blown apart from that. But he's, martial arts person, got those modified gauntlets for reinforced wrists and all that. Unnecessary flipping, because why not? Forgot how janky some of the Season 1. Okay, now onto something I can actually analyze a bit more. So let's drop the playback speed to about half and cut the volume. Okay, one thing I will give the Whitefang credit for, they're not, just standing back and waiting. While they are reaching Sun one at a time, if they weren't taken out immediately, he would be getting dogpiled. Only comment on that is maybe move a bit faster. seems like this guy, he's using a D-hilt sort of cutlass with a extended front blade. I mean, not really too much to comment on there. It's practical. So backhand, deflecting a blade off of his gauntlets. Yeah, you could get away with that. He punishes the Whitefang guy for overswinging with a... That'd be a jab to the chin. And sweep kick. Okay, what was that stab? So, kick. So, drop guard, go for a slash, telegraph too much. The thing that should have been done, go basically slash and then follow it up with a down strike. Just don't overcommit like he did. And the most probably impractical and cool weapon of the show, folding out, and that's gonna hurt. He was choked down towards the end and just slammed in. I would say that could easily bruise, maybe break a bone. Yeah. Fairly accurate, just a bit too spinny, and not sure what the slam was, maybe a dust repulsion. But yeah, I mean, all of this so far is plausible enough. Hell, could probably recreate this without too much if I could just get a bit more limber. So that was sort of a modified kip up, followed by 2 axe kicks, modified down towards the head, and double backflip because, yeah. And Torchwick fires a flare blast. Yeah, Torchwick got to be one of my favorite fighting styles within the show, just how brutal and practical. Yeah, Blake, overly acrobatic and barely able to be deflected by Torchwick, but he's managed to hold his own. Overall, give it a thumbs up. Sun comes in to knock him back before landing another blow on Blake. And gunchucks. I think I'm just gonna let Shad have a few words about the gunchucks. He'll be linked down below with his channel, but let's see what you have to say about nunchucks in general.
I have something important to say about the nunchucks. Why would you pick nunchucks over just a plain old stick? Like, what's a mace? It's a stick with a heavy thing on the end. What's a spear if not a stick with a pointy thing on the end? What is a sword if not essentially a metal sharpened stick? There are so many other weapons that a stick is easier to find and get a hold of than nunchucks you actually have to make. You actually have to, actually damage a perfectly good stick, make it worse than what it was to make nunchucks. Why would you ever pick nunchucks when you had stick very good nunchucks? What are they if not just mentally disabled sticks? It's like, seriously, nunchucks are basically like a stick that had a stroke. Nunchucks are just sticks that are suffering from erectile stick function. It is literally the stick that swings back at you when you use it. It requires 10 times the training, yet is half as useful as good old stick. It is the inbred, mentally disabled cousin of the mighty stick. That's what nunchucks are.
Right, thank you, Shad. I mostly agree with that. And yeah, again, channel link down below. Most of his stuff is absolutely amazing for just weapons and all that. Anyway, back to this with a ridiculous amount of lead just being thrown everywhere. And dear God, Torchwick was able to deflect all of those. No surprise that Blake managed to knock him down. And why are they just standing there? Good use of terrain, I approve. Separates them, way too many flips there. Pull the trigger. Are you... I'm not sure if he's monologuing here. I'm gonna have to turn the playback speed back up to normal. No, he's not. He's just standing there menacingly. There's so much more time he could have just pulled the trigger, but, you know, can't be blowing the heads off of students. And RWBY is here, you know, flipping her cumbersome scythe. Hello, Little Red. It's past her bedtime, and Penny's wandering up, followed by a very quick flare gun explosive shot to the chest. And dear God, you have a lot of mascara on. Oh God, that was a full scorpion. And Torchwick, please be aware that you have opponents down below. Overall, he does a good job controlling the battlefield when he can't just deflect shots. And now we move on to Penny's razor wire poorly animated backpack swords. So, looking at them, as a sword, it's not the greatest. There's the connection from the hilt to the blade, I feel, is too thin, particularly as there's a flange just above it. Now, if the base was maybe a bit thicker and the flange wasn't there, wouldn't have as much of a problem with it. It's more or less that's literally just the Whitefang sword. If you remove the C hilt and get rid of the flange. Cool power button though, plays into her robot aesthetic. And there should be wires that you can see on them in theory. Now, okay, I forgot that some of these guys have guns. They should be firing on people just in general. We have Blake and Son off somewhere in the corner. You know, those guys should be just firing on them, either to suppressive fire or trying to take them out. And then our guys with the cutlass, not really much you can do against something flying in other than have way too dramatic flips. Okay. You with the gun, start firing. Please. Was that guy reverse wielding a cutlass? Because I swear, if he was, knock him in. Yep, reverse grip on a cutlass. Don't reverse grip in general. It's only useful with a dagger because of how short the blade is, and the techniques, they're a bit more stabby and defensive as opposed to if you were just have it in a normal grip and where you would slash. Yep, they jumped right into blades, just charging in as fodder. Yep. And this fight scene just seems to be paused. Do love me a good bit of suppressive artillery fire. So she has quite a few blades. It's like, what, 10 out, I think? Either that or 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 12 blades are out right now. Charging up a energy pulse. Not really much to say. This is way beyond my level of expertise, and the amount of property damage that Atlas is going to have to pay for, and the fact that those Whitefang guys are, without a doubt, dead. Yeah. Okay, so she's strong enough to pull back a full-on... That's what, a bullpup? No, that's a variation of a firing mechanism. Bullhead. She's able to pull back a full-on bullhead. Not sure the specs on those, but the fact that she doesn't absolutely demolish RWBY is beyond crazy whenever she lands on them. And more dead Whitefang pilots. You know, I actually think that Penny has the highest body count of all the heroes. Because Blake and Yang, they share 1 kill with Adam. You know, whatever that is for you. Yeah, Penny has the highest kill count out of all the heroes. That's a nice little fact you can have. And Torchwick does the logical thing of cutting and running. Because if you can't win, you gotta get the fuck out. Overall, this was a decent fight, save for the moments of when the camera isn't on you. Your area just kind of is frozen in time. So yeah, overall, the weapons, I like them. I think that this set has practical enough weapons with Cutlass and then Blake's funky firing mechanism, the extremely practical melodic cudgel being wielded by our one and only Torchwick, and then the absolute stupid and garbage design of Sun's gunchucks, which I love purely because of how stupid it is. Yeah. Overall, I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. It's good shit. Anyway, you guys know the drill at this point. Check it out down below. Gonna be linked to the Rooster Teeth website. Gonna try and get one of these videos out at least once a month. That and the D&D subclasses. Witcher review coming soon, trying to line up schedules with Dan, the guy who I do the subclass videos with. Yeah. Until next time, this is Elvin Prince, signing out.